iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, race fans, to the Kern County Raceway here in Bakersfield, California. It is, of course, that time here tonight that the Upstate Racing League gets back to it with the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series here tonight for the Dr. Noise Paints 113. 113, that stands for the 13th year. We're out of one ahead of it. We're going short track racing for 113 laps here tonight. To bring you all the racing action, the gang is back here tonight, race fans. My name's Roger Muth, and alongside me, it's, well, my longtime co-host here with the Upstate Racing League. It is Kelly Dahl. Kelly, welcome to Bakersfield, California, the west coast of the United States, a little closer to home for you.
Yeah, and it's a little weird being out here to start the season. For the past 10 seasons, the Upstate Racing League has always started the year off over in Iowa, one of their largest tracks of the year. This year, however, they're switching things up. We are going to Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway, as you mentioned, and bit of a half-mile D-oval here, and we'll have to see how these drivers will manage with this new track.
That's right, and it's back to the roots. You talked about it earlier with me before we come live here onto the air. It's back to the roots. The late models stock these drivers for a couple years. We drove those super late models, but it's back to the late model stock here for season number 13. A lot of these drivers were around back then, Kelly, that drove the original late model stock machines.
Yeah, these are different from the old late models that Upstate Racing League used to run. These are a different chassis, different body, and they handle a lot differently. So we're going to be going from that super late model that had a ton of power and could get really loose off the corner to the late model stock, which still has tons of grip. So we should be seeing these cars be a lot more neat and tidy off the corners, but that might allow these drivers to get a little bit closer together and have some nice close quarter battles in the corners.
We had a close quarters battle all the way to the end of the season last year between two veteran drivers of the series, Guillaume Fortin and Bill Martin. It came down to the final race of the season where Guillaume Fortin was able to pick up his first championship with the series, and along the way he was able to grab his first two career victories. Those drivers are back here this season to see who will be able to battle here in season number 13 to pick up that championship. But just like that, race fans, it is time to set the starting lineup here tonight for the Dr. Noise Paints 113 here tonight for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series. The starting lineup will look like this. Snagging the first pole of the season, the driver of car number 15, another one of those veterans here now with the series, Matthew Barkhouse. To his outside, he finished 4th in the championship standings last season. Car number 66, that'll be Stephen Rochefort. And how about the old Hack Daddy? Car number 2 of Brian Hacker will start back into the 3rd position. And, well, a one-time champion with the series. The Rev Racing number 75 of Mike Alexander will start 4th. Guillaume Fortin, last season's champion, driving the 13 from north of the border, will start into the 5th spot here tonight. Making his return to the series here, car number 23 of Blade Timmons will start 6th. Chris Stump and car number 95 will go from the 7th starting spot. Bill Martin driving the number 39, a champion, will start in 8th here tonight. And how about the number 46, Philip Martin starting back in 9th. And the old, well, 4X Motorsports, number 20 of Justin McDuff rounding out the top 10.
Another longtime runner of Matt Eddy will be rolling off in 11th with, to his outside, a rookie, Ty Delphia. Rex Hoyle at number 54, he'll be starting in 13th position with the number 5 of Scott Austin to his right. Next row will be a pair of rookies, first with the 31 of Logan Powers and the 92 of Adam Turner. Gavin Eisel, he'll be rolling off in 17th in that number 18 machine, and to his outside, the big boss man himself, the number 96 of Al Smith Jr. Gary Eschen will be rolling off in 19th position with Jason Griffith to his outside.
Starting back into the 21st spot, you've seen him on dirt. It's the W6 of Michael Peak. And how about the driver out of Vermont? Driving car number 47, that'll be Rodney Hontoon. Brian Bianchi in the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe number 1 will start into the 23rd spot, while Matt McLean driving the Mad Racing number 88 will start 24th. 25th to a rookie this season. You saw him on dirt. It'll be car number 15 of Tyler Bushy. His outside driving the number 91 here tonight. He's a rookie. Adam Gable in car number 91. How about Wade Burgess, a rookie? He was on dirt also. Car number 53, he'll start 27th here tonight. 28th to the Best Gulf Creations, number 81 of Jimmy McIntyre. And 29th will go to the number 15 of Ryan Holland. 29 cars to start here tonight in the Dr. Noise Paints 113 for the Best Gulf Creations Pro Series. Season number 13 about to get kicked off here, Kelly. 1 lap away from dropping the green flag.
Yeah, and this, as we've mentioned, it is a new car. This is going to shake things up. The drivers that we saw that may have been much more strong last year may be a bit weaker at these new cars. So we'll have to see how this race will shake up and see if this is really going to show us what the season's going to be like.
The season will come to life this time out of turn number 4. It'll be Matthew Barkhouse and Stephen Rochefort, Brian Hacker, and Mike Alexander. The first 2 rows here tonight to set the tone. 113 laps going green here tonight on the Dr. Noise Paints 113.
Not a great start from that outside lane. The 66 of Rochefort dropping back almost immediately, and that's going to allow Brian Hacker to kind of move up to his inside to try to take away that second position. Matthew Barkhouse able to track out all the way to the wall right off the start. And now these drivers still 2x2 into turn number 3. They are still packed up, and look at a good run off the corner for Stephen Rochefort. Can't quite get anywhere with it, though, as Barkhouse slides up in front of him. Now Barkhouse running that second lane.
The R&R Kinsman Auto. Number 15, the Matthew Barkhouse will lead lap number 1 as he leads him back down the back straightaway. Still stacked up here for the second position. It's got the Austin Designs number 2 of Brian Hacker to the inside. No, big slide that time by a race leader that time out of turn 4. Had to check up that second lane there. The 66 of Stephen Rochefort got it checked up. Fast lap last time by the number 39 of Bill Martin. Buried back into the 8th spot.
And these drivers do have an extra set of tires in the pits. However, they still want to try to make these things last as long as possible, because it seems like the track position is going to be very important, as both lanes seem to be viable. Now look at the 2 of Brian Hacker getting a good run through 1 and 2. He starts to get his nose just up to the inside of that 15 of Barkhouse. Barkhouse now sliding up in front of the 66. And that 66 is all over the bumper. Bit of contact there coming down the front straightaway.
Sideways for the number 2 of Brian Hacker there. Matthew Barkhouse still using the outside lane to control the race here tonight. And Rochefort and Hacker still side by side once again. It seemed like Brian Hacker was able to get there, but he was not able to make the pass off for the race lead last time by. This time we'll have 5 laps in the books. Been all led by Matthew Barkhouse. We've been green flag racing, but a lot of racing here at the front of the field and a lot of racing at the back. But look there, those 2 drivers that are side by side. Car number 13 and car number 75. 2 previous champions here in the series, and they are battling inside the top 5 early here tonight.
Yeah, Guillaume Fortin, our defending champion, he's stuck on that inside lane there to the inside of the 75 of Mike Alexander. Now he's getting a good run through 1 and 2. Now looking to the race lead, the 66 of Rochefort goes to the bottom. He's going to get through turns 3, and now just in time to make that move as the caution flag comes out.
Caution flag coming out. Matt McLean going around in the 88 machine here tonight. Going to collect one of them there. That looks like car number 54. The Whiteley veteran, the Colony Tire and Service Center car 54 of Rex Hoyle. Heavy damage to the right front of that number 54 here tonight for Rex Hoyle. We're waiting for the truck to tell us they got it, but I believe a handful of cars here involving McLean, Hoyle, and I think Scott Austin may also have a little damage to car number 5 here. Let's take a look back. Watch the number 54. There's the 5 to the inside here on that replay. Down the back straightaway they went, and a little contact there from the 54 of Rex Hoyle into the Austin Designs number 5, and one car goes spinning down to the inside there. That's the 88 of Matt McLean. I don't think McLean has too much damage, if any, to that 88, but he did spin down to the inside while the other two were up against the outside retaining wall.
Yeah, it was just two separate incidents there, as I guess McLean was trying to check up, and Huntoon on that in the 24 car was right on his bumper, couldn't quite see what was going on, just gave him a little tap in turn 3, and that sent the 88 spinning around. But as you mentioned, I don't think there's any damage to that car. If anything, just that rear bumper pushed in very slightly, but he's probably still going to be just fine.
The Austin Designs number 5 also getting involved in that, as we said, with a little right front damage for him being up on top of the number 54 Rex Hoyle. Limited damage to the number 5, but heavy right front damage to Rex Hoyle. We'll see if Hoyle can hold on to it. We know he's a veteran here with this series, not just here with the Upstate Racing League, but Rex Hoyle, one of those drivers who started way back into the 80s. He has a little bit of racing on the real side of things and a lot of racing here on iRacing, along with, well, Kelly, do you remember the old NASCAR 1995 game? Rex Hoyle cut his teeth on that.
That's almost a little too early for me. I was a little young at that point. I think my first entry was NASCAR 99. So, but yeah, his resume goes back a long ways. But now, as these cars are going to stack up here, the lights are out on the pace car. Stephen Rochford has said he's going to claim the outside lane for this restart. So, seeming like that second lane here, just in above that first dash line, is kind of the fast lane around this track.
Yeah, we saw Matthew Barkhouse be able to hold it down up top there to start this one off. Rochford was able to get to the inside, though, and take the race lead as the caution flag was flying. So we do know the inside lane is able to make passes here tonight at the Kern County Raceway. As we're ready to go back racing, it'll be 10 laps, 11 laps in the books. The green flag back out here tonight.
Great jump there for that 66 car, and also for the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. He is moving forward, started all the way back in 5th place. He's moved up now into 2nd as he gets himself clear of the 15 of Matthew Barkhouse. Now he's going to move down to that bottom lane. Now Brian Hacker trying to get himself to the door of the 15 car. He gets a good run down the front straightaway. He's going to get to the quarter panel now. The door now completely even up. Turns 1 and 2.
Nice crossover move by Brian Hacker. Hacker, a champion on our late model dirt side of things and also our street stock division a couple years ago, picking up both championships in the same year. Just behind him, that's car number 95, the all-black number 95 with the Chevrolet bow tie on the nose of that car. That's going to be Chris Stump. Chris Stump, well, the driver out of Ohio. Oh, boy. Yeah, I was going to say that was the wildest thing he's ever done, but I can tell you, an Indy car around the Dover Motor Speedway, hell, he had his name on that seat. It was just about as wild as the ride he just took last time by.
Yeah, and Stump was a competitor in the late models back when the Upstate Racing League was running them, but wasn't quite able to get grips in the super late models. Never quite had the same performance. Now in the late model stock, he is looking to be going forward, and he got right up to the bumper of Brian Hacker there through 3 and 4.
Just behind him, though, Bill Martin. And look at Matthew Barkhouse, that restart. He was once our race leader. He's now stuck to the outside. Bill Martin got around him. Here comes the number 23 of Blade Timmons. Timmons is going to make a bid for that spot. He'll go down to the inside here in turn number 3 and 4. Just behind them, Matthew Eddy and Mike Alexander. And then it's Philip Martin who rounds out the top 10 here. 16 laps out of our 113 scheduled here tonight for the season opener.
It looks like both lanes are working here in this track, and that is providing some great racing. As a little tap there to Barkhouse in turns 3, and that's going to get him a little bit high up in that lane. That 75 still right on his bumper. Now the 88 of Matt Eddy, he's actually getting a good run down that bottom side, and that might be able to get him around the 15. He's going to be just not quite clear off turn 2.
Matt Eddy in the Buick, number 88, using the inside apron just a little bit with those left side tires of that Buick. Got it to turn down at 1 and 2 and down at 3 and 4. Another great turn on the bottom side of the speedway. It makes you wonder here, Kelly. We're in the early portions of this one, but Matthew Barkhouse did lead the opening 11 laps of this one. Did he maybe push it too hard, too early to defend the top and bottom side of the speedway? Because now he's faded all the way from first back to the 8th spot.
Speaking of pushing hard, we have got a battle for the race lead. Guillaume Fortin was able to get to the inside of Stephen Rochefort. Couldn't quite get around him, though. Now he's once again getting his nose up to that quarter panel. However, that second lane is just carrying a lot better speed off of the corner. So despite the gains that Guillaume can make on the entry, he just can't carry the speed off the corner. And that's actually going to open him up here maybe to Brian Hacker, as he's running that second lane as well and kind of diamonding the corner just a little bit.
Yeah, if you can make the car as straight as it can be off the corner, you're going to save a little bit of the back tires, a little bit of those front tires for maybe a little bit later on in this race when you're able to push it when other drivers are starting to fade. This track here tonight, we saw it very heavily marbled up from the inside to the outside during our 1 hour long practice that we had earlier as Rodney Hahn tune around in car number 47. That will bring the second caution flag out here tonight. You see the number 47 of Rodney Hahn tune, the 802 Precision entry here tonight, pulling away, the driver out of Vermont. A couple years ago, he played race control, and he said, well, guys, it looks like so much fun. I had to come out here and race with them, and that's exactly what he's doing. As one driver coming to pit road, the rookie, number 53 of Wade Purchase, will come to pit road. Heavy front nose damage in that right front, pointed in the wrong direction, about 25 degrees into the wrong direction. So there comes car 53. He will bring it to pit road. As let's take a look back here and watch the replay. There's the 47 to the inside, and looks like he comes up the track in just a case of, well, we want the same room. Oh, man, and hard contact for the 15 there of Tyler Bushy also. Bushy was running towards the 20th position at the time of the contact. He went down to the inside to try to avoid and just nowhere to go.
Yeah, it looks like once Huntoon got locked up there with Purchase on the outside, it was the left front to the right rear, and he just had no opportunity to get himself off of that other car until they ended up just catching the wall of the access road right after the start-finish line. So really bad angle on the wall to catch there, and that is definitely what caused all that heavy right front damage to Wade Purchase.
So Purchase is on pit road. Another driver that came to pit road was car number 5 of Scott Austin in the Austin Designs. Number 5, Rodney Hahn, now making his way to pit road. Rex Hoyle and his crew, they have been thrashing on that car. He's a couple laps down. I say a couple. It's 10 laps at this point here for Rex Hoyle since he went behind the wall here tonight. He's being scored back to the 29th position for Rex Hoyle. Rodney Hahn coming into his box. His crew will go to work on that machine. It's still Stephen Rochefort out front. We've only had one lead change here tonight. Lap number 11 is when Rochefort was able to take that top spot. And so far, he's been able to hold on to it, even though Guillaume Fortin has been battling there to try and take that spot. One driver, though, that has picked up the most spots here tonight early on in this one, a latecomer into tonight's server, car number 91. That was Adam Gable, and car number 91 coming into tonight as an unknown, a mystery machine, if you will, in car number 91 for Adam. And so far, it's been 8 spots gained. No practice, and a very slow qualifying lap for the 91 as they were just trying to dial that car in. So he's up to 18th. We'll see if he can continue to roll through the field here tonight.
Man, it could also be a case of, doesn't really know a lot of the people here, kind of wants to get a bit of a feel for them, so started off in the back and kind of working his way up, and it's certainly working for him so far. He has gained 8 spots, and there still is a lot of racing left to happen here tonight. But as mentioned, there's only been one lead change, but it was very close to being a second lead change as Guillaume Fortin had some pace there, and he was able to challenge Rochefort. So we'll have to see what is going to be able to happen in this next restart, because once again, Stephen Rochefort is taking the high side.
Yeah, Rochefort to take the high side. That'll be Guillaume to the inside of row number 1. Inside of row number 2 will be Brian Hacker. To the outside of row number 2 will be Chris Stump. Then it's Bill Martin and Blade Timmons. Those are the first 3 rows here as we get ready to go back racing. 2 drivers have not made it back to the racing surface. It'll be Wade Purchase, car number 53, and car number 54 of Rex Hoyle. Pace car in and out of the way. We're ready to go. 27 laps here tonight in the books. Rochefort fires it off, and a great start by the outside, but everybody else left kind of sitting there wondering what's going on.
Yeah, not a great start from Stump, but a good run there from Guillaume. He was able to defend his position. Now he's staying right with the 66 of Rochefort, and that is really the best you can do when you're starting in second place. You're having to watch to see when that leader is going to jump, and he was able to time that quite well. Now looking back there at the 95 of Chris Stump, he's starting to regain after kind of getting caught a little bit sleeping on that restart. However, the 2 of Brian Hacker holding the inside line well. Now the 95 catching the outside wall.
That's going to open up the door. Here comes the veteran, Bill Martin, to the inside. Will he be able to get to the corner panel? He will not. Chris Stump going to slam the door. Now he'll look to the inside down to turn number 1 and 2. There's the number 2, though, of Brian Hacker still holding that lane. You got to go all the way back to the Matt Eddy machine, who's side by side with Philip Martin, the Whitmore Enterprise number 46 there of Philip Martin. I believe this is making his first start here with the series here in season number 13.
Yes, he is one of our rookies here tonight. In that corner there, he made a bit of a mistake, went a little bit high there, and that is going to cost him that fight with Matt Eddy. Matt Eddy now slotting into the position, and he is right behind our former pole sitter of Matthew Barkhouse, who has dropped all the way back into 7th place. So it seems like Barkhouse had the single lap pace here tonight, but hasn't quite been able to find the consistency.
Logan Powers taking a look to the inside of the number 75, and Mike Alexander slips off turn 2. He'll put the right side of that number 75 up against the outside wall, and, well, we just scraped it a little bit. The brand new paint scheme here tonight for that number 75 of Mike Alexander, unveiling it here tonight at the Kern County Raceway. The 31, those of Power still down to the inside. You see that green number 31? He's a rookie here with the series. Rookie's doing very well here in the first opening stages of this first race of the season. Talking about one of them sideways for Ty Delphia back there. That's the Goodwrench number 13 machine. You see him. He's running right into the 12th position. One of the only drivers so far here tonight that are still holding their starting position. Ty started in the 12th spot. He's still running 12th here tonight.
Yeah, Mike Alexander kind of moved a little ways back on the start here. Now he's trying to work his way back up as he gets around the 31 of Logan Powers. He started in 4th, now down into 10th, but seems to be regaining his pace. It's just a few rows back. We see a couple cars getting loose. Look like the 20 and the 96 getting just a little bit loose off the corner.
Yeah, and that's 2 of the drivers that have been here with the Upstate Racing League, well, forever. That's Justin McDuff in car number 20, the all-white number 20 of Justin McDuff, and then it's Al Smith, the boss man of the Upstate Racing, number 96. One of them hard into the wall there. That was Matt McLean in car number 88. He just smoked the right side of that Fury Racing number 88 from McLean. We'll see if that has a tire rub on it going forward. He's up underneath Adam Gable there, who's, oh, now he'll get right into the back of him. Around gonna go. That was the 91 there, Adam Gable going around. And I believe a couple other drivers, it looks like Dobbs involved in that one. Turner also getting turned around. I believe Scott Austin and Rodney Hontoon also maybe getting a little piece of that one.
Yeah, a few cars involved there, and as you mentioned, Adam Turner getting spun around. Actually, looks like he was just getting on the brakes hard and was starting to spin it, and I don't know if his teammate maybe caught him there right on the right rear, or if he did just lose it on his own, but it looks like he did avoid any sort of major damage and was able to keep it off the wall.
Dobbs involved. You saw him getting his nose of that Pontiac involved there. Let's take a ride here on board, watching, looking back at the 88 of McLean. Into the corner, you see the nose just up underneath the rear end, and then around it's going to go. A hopeless feeling going down there into the corner with the rear tires off it. You can turn, you just have no control.
Yeah, and Matt McLean did claim responsibility for that caution, so that is going to send the 88 machine to the back of the field. Don't know how much damage he's carrying at this point, because as you mentioned, he did catch the wall earlier on, and he does have some heavy left front damage, I think, from that recent incident.
Our third caution flag of the evening, not quite to the halfway point here tonight, and a couple drivers coming to pit road here. Looks like Gable going to come to pit road, and driver who did just get the lucky dog was car number 54, so Rex Hoyle, the wily veteran, he's back out there. There you see the Colony Tire and Service Center, number 54, the driver out of, well, North Carolina will be scored 29th now, and well, still a handful of laps. He's going to need a lot of caution flags here tonight and not to be wrapped up in one of them to get his laps back here. So he is back out there, and it looks like Adam Gable will make his way back out onto the raceway, and we should get the one to go here this time to double him back up tonight.
And once again, Steven Rochefort choosing that outside lane. He is really liking the second lane, but Guillaume Fortin has found a home on the bottom side through this corner. It's interesting seeing these top two drivers taking two completely different lines to the corners, and neither one having really much of an advantage. Right before that caution came out, though, Guillaume was all over the bumper of the 66, so I think he's hoping for a bit longer of a green flag run this time so he can maybe challenge for the race lead.
These drivers here tonight, we are working our third caution flag of the evening. These drivers do have one set of tires down on the pit side of they need them here tonight. The question is, when do you take the chance and the opportunity to come to pit road? Because we haven't seen anybody, Kelly, here in the first three yellows come to pit road that have not been involved in an incident.
No, it's definitely too early on, and we haven't had enough green flag runs to really burn up these tires, but you may see it later on, especially with drivers towards the back of the field that will give up the track position and get the tires, and they may be able to make a lot of ground up. We've seen it a few times before in this league where drivers have come and taken fresh tires and have just charged through the field.
Yeah, I remember 3 wide back at Langley a couple years ago. Talk about a barn burner back then that one was. Could turn into one here tonight as we're coming back into the restart zone. Rochefort to the outside, Guillaume Fortin down to the inside. Green flag back up into the air here tonight at Kern County. It'll be 42 laps completed.
Once again, the entire field getting a good launch there off the restart. The 23, though, Blade Timmons having to back way off on the entry into turn 1, and that kind of allows the 2 there of Brian Hacker. He's going to slide up in front of Chris Stump and then once again move down to the bottom as he's trying to get a home down there. Now Guillaume Fortin, he's getting his nose up to the inside of Steven Rochefort. He's challenging for the race lead, trying to get himself up there. He can only reach the door, but this time he's going to be pretty much even coming down the back straightaway. He's getting a lot better runs now off these corners.
Yeah, it looked like the 66 of Rochefort that time. Got himself a little bit loose off turn number 2. It allowed Guillaume to get even closer, but that time a better run off turn 4 there for the 66 on the outside, able to hold that momentum. See, this time as they work off turn 2, it looks like Guillaume going to have to funnel back in the line. Rochefort takes back control and command of this race. It'll be Steven Rochefort, Guillaume Fortin, Brian Hacker, Chris Stump, and then the battle back here for the 5th spot. Blade Timmons has it for the time being. He tried to get around Chris Stump for 4th, and then Bill Martin took a peek real quick. They all single filed it out. You got to go all the way back to Philip Martin and Matthew Barkhouse, who are side by side there for the 8th spot.
And Guillaume has to be careful of these times he's challenging for the lead, because each time he does it, he's burning off that right front just a little bit more, and he's got to be conservative of it unless he really wants to push hard and give up on and change these tires later. As once again, he's trying to challenge for the lead, makes a little bit of contact with 66 coming down the back straightaway, and then the caution is going to come out and ruin any sort of chance he might have off of turn 4. But look like Adam Turner got sent around on the back straightaway.
Yeah, the Maple City Auto rookie here tonight, Nines Taxi, part of that pink brigade out there, the Discord boys as they call themselves. Adam Turner being turned around. I believe Tyler Bushy also involved, part of that Discord boys. They came out off the dirt here tonight and they said, we're not asphalt drivers, but we will definitely give it a shot. As you see, there was contact just ahead of Adam Turner, and that, well, him and Rex Hoyle got into it, turned the 92 slamming passenger side against the wall. Bushy was the other one that got turned around just out ahead of Adam Turner. Take a look back here, see if we can find what happened. That's the 88 of Matt McLean. There's the 91 of Gable. Gable just wrong place, wrong time for him.
Yeah, came down just a little bit, got into the McLean, kind of one car tracking out while the other one's kind of cutting in, and just a slight tap sent the 88 down, and there was just no room for any sort of errors. He had the 51 just below him, and he just caught the right rear of Tyler Bushy and sent him around.
Race fans, as we work this caution flag here tonight, we got to thank you all for joining us here tonight. Season number 13 for the Upstate Racing League, brought to us by Best Colorful Creations here tonight. Tonight's race, though, the Dr. Noise Paints 113. Are you in the market for a custom paint for iRacing or NR? That's right, they still make paint schemes for NR. Well, just head on over to Facebook, type in Dr. Noise. And, of course, Bill Martin, the genius, the guru, the doctor, if you will, has something that he can create for you. You need a retro throwback or you need a custom paint. Bill Martin, right there, you see car number 39. He's the guy that, well, he not only does he do a lot of the paints here in the series, he does a lot of paints for NR, and he does entire, well, all 43 cars. You want 1995? He can give you 1995 to a T. I'm telling you, race fans, check out Dr. Noise over on Facebook, and check out the website too, because you're not going to find another driver that puts as much detail into the cars as Bill Martin.
Yeah, once again, thanks to Bill Martin for sponsoring this race, and he's himself is having a fairly decent run so far. Started in 8th place, has been able to come up 2 spots, and he's currently found himself in 6th. Next time he will be starting on that outside lane. We've seen some drivers getting a little bit better runs off the corner there, so we'll have to see if 39 can carry that momentum and maybe get around Blade Timmons.
Stephen Rochford has been able to lead the way since lap number 11 here tonight. It looks like he'll choose the outside lane once again. He's been able to get the jump and fire off rather quickly and get out over Guillaume Fortin. Guillaume's been able to reel him back in, but we'll see if they can do it once again. Rochford to the outside, Guillaume to the inside here. Then it's Hacker and Stump side by side in row number 2.
Yeah, it seemed like that 13 car is a little bit faster, but he just can't quite get the pace on the inside off of the corner to get around the 66. At that time, they actually kind of banged doors in turn 3 as the pace car dives down into the safety of pit lane. And there goes the 66 of Rochford firing off of turn number 4, and a good start there from the rest of the field. However, the 23 not quite hitting the loud pedal at the right time, and that is going to allow Bill Martin to get around him and get himself into the top 5. However, the 23 fighting back gets tagged by Martin. He's going to go down to the bottom, but he still hangs onto that car.
A little bumper tag as the battle for the race lead out of turn 4. Rochford going to get to the line first. Guillaume going to hang right there on the left rear quarter panel with that right front of the number 13. Look at them as they come off the corner a little bit more, leaning onto the right side tires there for Guillaume Fortin. He'll just fall right back into line for the time being. But man, Chris Stump is holding on right now because he's got Martin to the outside. Blade Timmons, he closed in real quick, just not able to really get the turn off, and almost a little contact that time between Martin and Timmons.
And Martin's still trying to make his way forward. He's gotten himself in the top 5, now trying to get himself in the top 4 as once again Guillaume Fortin going to the inside of Rochford. And once again, as he makes the move, a caution comes out. Matt McLean involved once again, along with Adam Turner and Rodney Huntoon.
Yeah, Huntoon, McLean not having good nights here tonight in the season opener. The second time their cars have been involved in a little bit of a scuffle incident here tonight. So as caution flag number 5 is waving here tonight, let's take a look back. What happened to McLean? Oh, is that the 5th? That's one of those 9's taxis. Entry was sideways off too. McLean down to the inside. Huntoon looked like he maybe checked it up just a little bit in the center of the corner. And right there, McLean into the back of Rodney Huntoon. Around they go. Adam Turner getting in just a little bit of a scuffle there. Maybe a couple more scrapes to the bottom of that car. Otherwise, everybody does spin them right around, and they keep on ticking.
And we just had a little bit of an incident under caution once again between the 88 of McLean and Rodney Huntoon, as McLean got into the back of Huntoon and sent him around on the front straightaway.
So as they all sort it out here, this is what happened under caution flag right here. Take the look back and right out of turn 4 here. So 2 drivers trying to fight here tonight early. Hey, it's the first race of the season, so we'll see if the gloves come off here tonight.
And they're at it once again as Huntoon now gets his revenge and sends the 88 around. So I'm sure they're going to get a little bit of a talking to after the race, because Al is not a fan of drivers taking things in their own hands.
But it provides good excitement, Kelly.
It definitely provides a bit of excitement when the rest of the cars are going 50 miles an hour.
The only thing they can't do is they can't take their helmet off and throw it at each other. We'd love to see a little short track racing like that. But the rest of the drivers here at the front of the field, Stephen Rochford, Guillaume Fortin, Brian Hacker, Chris Stump, along with Bill Martin, Blade Timmons, Matt Eddy, Philip Martin, Mike Alexander, and Logan Powers. That is the top 10 here tonight as we pace under the 5th caution flag of the evening, just over the halfway home point here tonight in the Dr. Noise Paint 113 here tonight for the Best Colorful Creations. Race fans, do you have a special birthday coming up for you? Well, Best Colorful Creations can make any kind of custom cake, or, trust me, cake pop, because if you were at the banquet the other year, Beth made those perfect cake pops, and I'm drooling over them right now, Kelly. I know you didn't get to experience them, but let me tell you, top-notch, grade A, mouth-watering cake pops.
Yeah, you talk them up so much, makes me wish I could have been there to try them, but now we're going to have to get back to the race here as the pace car is down and the way. Roachford is going to fire off at turn number 4, and the rest of the field, they've really kind of figured out when he fires as they keep quite packed together here. Coming down into turn number 1, the car is side by side as Guillaume once again gets to the inside of that 66. He's still trying for that race lead. He's got the pace. He just needs to find the move to make it to the race lead.
And now they're going to be side by side, all 4 with the drag race and the caution flag coming out again. Matt McLean in car number 88 has been turned around down here in the middle of 3 and 4. So that's the 6th caution flag here tonight involving, well, car number 88 here. We'll have to see what happened. And, let's watch it back here as him and Rodney Hontoon were battling down the back straightaway. We'll see what happens down here in the middle of 3 and 4. Looks like the 88 goes in the corner, and, well, he checks it up in front of the number 47, and around goes car number 88. So those two definitely not playing nice here tonight.
Looks like we have a car heading down pit road here. Looks to be the 92 of Adam Turner. He's got a little bit of damage to his car, so that might be the reason why he's pitting, is to maybe bang some of that out a little bit, but at the same time, he could get the tires changed. Yeah, I'm seeing the right side of his car go up, so he is going to take tires while he's down here. So keep an eye on that car. We'll see if those fresh tires will kind of even out the damage. See if he can maybe make a charge to the field.
So as they drop the jack on the number 92, he'll rejoin the racing surface here. Taking a peek, and yep, it's going to be Rex Hoyle who will get that lucky dog. So he's been lucky here a handful of times tonight. So Rex Hoyle still out there trying to tick away at some positions. He actually has gained a position since staying out there, Kelly, and we know from watching last season's points championship battle come down to the last race of the season, every point matters here in the Upstate Racing League.
Yeah, these drivers do get a couple of drop weeks throughout the season, but as you mentioned, yeah, it can come down to the wire. We have seen drivers dominate the season before and lock it up before the final race, but more times often than not, it does come down to that last race. So these drivers have to just try to make every single point that they can. As Adam Turner has mentioned, came down pit road, only changed the right side tires, and he was able to manage to stay on the lead lap coming out of the pits right in front of the pace car.
So the lights are out on the iRacing.com pace car here tonight, so that means they're going to double these bad boys back up. They're going to step on the allow pedal here tonight, and they will drag race it out from 4 to turn 1 to see who's going to come out of turn 2 with the race lead. So far, it's been Stephen Roachford who's been able to hang on to this race lead, and we talked about drivers that have been clawing their way through the field. Matthew Barkhouse, who tonight started towards the front of this field. We're going to go, looks like the lights are going to come back on. Something happening at the back of the field here. Couple drivers maybe still not getting along, and it's going to scatter the back of the field. So we're stay caution flag here and go single file now. One driver I was talking about, that's the number 15, the Matthew Barkhouse, qualified on the front row and now has fallen all the way back to the 11th running position. We'll see if he can, well, work his way back inside the top 10 here late in this one.
Looks like we may be going single file for this next start, as everyone does seem to be staying in a single file line as lights are out on the pace car. So, yeah, pace car's down and away. We are going to do a single file start here because of how fast that last caution came out.
Right on board here on the restart, Stephen Roachford. Back to the gas out of turn number 4. Up through the gearbox he comes to turn number 1. A great start, though, by Guillaume, who's right behind him. And then it's going to be Timmons battling with Chris Stump. And here comes Guillaume to the inside.
Both cars getting wiggling just a little bit off of turn number 2, and that's going to kind of kill any run that Guillaume may have had there off the corner. But once again, getting right up to that rear bumper. He's looking to the inside, but each time he does so, he's burning off that right front, and Roachford is just rolling that high side so well and carrying the momentum off of the corner.
Everybody still single file, but nose to tail for the race lead. Matt McLean making a pass towards the back of the field. There he'll get around Tyler Bushy in car number 15. Otherwise, these drivers now look like they're trying to funnel in here for a long run, but a diamond off the corner. Guillaume with a great run. Will he be able to get to the inside? He will not. Just to the back bumper, he'll have to lift off Stephen Roachford.
And that time now, he is going to get his bumper just in line with the rear bumper of that 66. He's going to go to the inside once again through turns 1 and 2. However, the 66 of Rochefort just carrying the speed off the corner once again, and he's going to get himself back clear of that 13 machine. So Guillaume just has the pace to the middle of the corner, but Rochefort defending quite well on the high side, and he's just able to carry so much more speed.
And as they battled there for the race lead, Brian Hacker now has closed in. It is a 3-horse race here for the race lead. Rochefort leading Fortin and Hacker. They got about a 4-car length, now call it maybe 2.5 there over Chris Stump, and Blade Timmons is still hanging on to the top 5. Back here is Logan Powers at car number 31. He's making a move to the inside of the number 46 of Philip Martin, and then there's Mike Alexander. Ty Delphia sideways at car number 13. He will not hang on to it, as now they're going to wreck him down the back straightaway. Dobbs is around, the boss man of Al Smith is around, and Ty Delphia up against the outside wall with car number 13. That will bring the caution flag out as they all scatter down the back straightaway. That one started there in turn 2, and it took all the way down the back straightaway for everybody to scatter.
Yeah, I think the person that got the worst of it was the 96 of Al Smith Jr. Got tagged in the rear end by Jason and sent spinning around, and then that rear end hit the inside wall. I have to see how much damage that car is carrying. It does seem like it has caved in the rear end, so maybe he will come down pit road and get a little bit of repairs. Looks like that is what his plan is. He now dives down behind the wall.
Matthew Barkhouse also getting involved in that, unfortunately. He was not able to get away unscathed here. Let's ride on board with Al Smith. Smith was running about the 15th position at the time. He got tagged by the number 98 coming out the gate of Dobbs there. 2 drivers that are heavy into the RC scene of things. Dobbs just competing in the big race down in Tennessee. And Al Smith traveled to Pennsylvania for Motorama and finished 8th out of, I believe it was about 80 cars. So both those drivers taking their RC experience here to the iRacing platform and getting tangled up. A couple of them just beating the iRacing.com pace car off of pit road. There is Dobbs. There is Barkhouse. He makes it back out also, barely staying on the lead lap for those drivers.
Yeah, one car that did not get out in front of the pace car, though, is Ty Delphia. He is still down on pit road now, 2 laps down. Going to get a bit more repairs to that car as he not only spun and kind of got the wall, it looked like Barkhouse got right into his rear end and got underneath of him, so could be some heavy damage to that 13 machine.
We're come by this time. We'll see what the officials say here tonight with the iRacing.com pace car lights. They stay on, so we'll go around at least another time here tonight, race fans. And, well, race fans, we got to thank you tonight for tuning in here to watch the season opener here for the Upstate Racing League tonight's series, the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series here tonight. The Dr. Noise Paints 113 here at the Kern County Raceway. If it's the first time joining us on the Turn 3 Racing Network, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, get the notifications anytime we bring you live racing action, whether it's here with the Upstate Racing League or one of our many other racing series, 7 nights a week. You can always find something live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's Dave, KR, Al. Oh, yeah, who's the other guy? It's Brett. How do you forget the Jet? He raced last year here with us. He even dabbles a little bit here behind the microphone, bringing you those race calls. But now the lights go out, and I do believe we got to double them back up here. It looks like the drivers are funneling in 2 by 2 as they march.
Yeah, doubling back up once again. We're going to see what kind of opportunity that might give the 13 of Guillaume Fortin, as we've seen him fighting hard to try to take the race lead away from the 66, but just can't quite get around him. But now at the end of that last run, we were seeing the 2 of Brian Hacker getting involved, so maybe he will be able to make a challenge for the race lead. Now the pace car is down and away, and here comes the 66 of Rochefort, and the rest of the field getting a good jump as well. Guillaume staying right with that 66. However, keep an eye on that 2 of Brian Hacker. He wants to charge for the race lead.
Race lead going back to Stephen Rochefort as he'll lead them down the back straightaway. Rochefort, Fort, and Hacker is how they run down into 3. Look at Timmons still side by side with Martin. A great run, though, for Guillaume off of turn number 4. They'll pull side by side to the inside there, just to the door panel of car 66.
Once again, just can't beat the run of that high side in that second lane. The second lane just holding on so much more. Guillaume does have the better overall pace, it seems, but just that straight line speed just can't be beat. He's got to find something to get around that 66, but knowing Guillaume, he's probably not going to put the bumper to him. He's a fairly clean and respectful driver, but there may be a point where just frustration might get the better of him, but we'll have to see if that 13 will maybe make that move.
Yeah, because he's getting pressure from behind. That's the number 2 of Brian Hacker. Guillaume once again peeking to the inside here. Just can't quite get the run off. He peeks to the inside. He funnels right back into the outside lane there. Timmons also a couple rows back, looking to the inside of the number 39 of Bill Martin, and that looks like a great turn that time, but the momentum once again from the outside just very strong here tonight at Kern County.
And also keep an eye on the 95 of Chris Stump. He's getting himself also kind of involved in this battle for the race lead, as it's kind of almost turned into a 4, nearly 5-car fight as the 23 gets into the 39 of Martin. Blade Timmons gets all sorts of sideways off of turn 4. That's going to cost him a few lanes here now as he comes back to the clutches of the 31 of Logan Powers, who is our highest running rookie of the race right now. He's trying to get himself into the top 5, but he's got to get around Timmons first to do so.
Timmons had to use his real-world racing powers that time to hold on to car number 23 as he used to race at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Of course, Myrtle Beach unfortunately going away as the caution lights are back on here tonight. Car number 91 has gone around. That's Adam Gable, the rookie here tonight, going around. He was running right around, I believe, the 20th position at the time of our 8th caution flag of the evening. The right front, the left front, and the left rear of car number 91 looks like they have definitely seen better days. They are not a straight quarter panel. Let's take a look back here and see Brian Bianchi had some issues there off turn number 4. They were 3 wide going down into the corner, and no, looks like maybe Bianchi wasn't ready quite to turn just yet in car number 1, and unfortunately, the 91 there was on the outside and got turned around.
Yeah, it's a bit of a 3-wide fight there into turn 1, and unfortunately, Adam Gable does get the worst of it, it seems. He gets sent all the way around to the high side, but in the grand scheme of things, doesn't look like he got any more damage from that wreck. Everything else has been from earlier incidents, so not too bad for the 91. He is going to come down pit road, though, so we'll have to see if he's going to take some tires as well. Because these drivers, yeah, he right side of the car goes up, so he's going to sacrifice the track position, take the gamble, take the right side tires. A few other drivers doing so as well. Tyler Bushy and Brian Bianchi is also taking right sides.
Driver that will get the lucky dog. You wouldn't believe it if I told you, Kelly, but Rex Hoyle, he's got a couple of them here.
However, still a long ways back as he is going to be moving up to, I think, 11 laps down after this. So still a long ways to go. I don't think we're going to have quite enough cautions as we are under 30 to go. And we're going to be actually getting pretty close to having only 20 laps left in this race once we go back green.
Hey, anything is possible. The little engine that could, or how about the little toaster? Remember the old stories about the little the brave little toaster? Well, maybe it's the brave old Rex Hoyle. But they're still all chasing the number 66 of Stephen Rochfort here tonight. Rochfort came in last season, and he actually finished top 5 in the end of the season point standings. He did pick up 1 win, 6 top 5s, and 9 top 10s along the way to finish 4th in the overall points championship standings. So right now, him and Guillaume battling here tonight very hard. Guillaume has took a peek to the inside a handful of times, just has not been able to make the pass. But you know who's been making a lot of passes? How about car number 15, Ryan Holland? He came from the dirt side of things. He runs RC cars just like Al Smith and Racing Jason. A lot of these drivers having that passion, that hobby they might not be able to afford a real car, the size and scale to a late model, but they can sure get those RC cars to go just as fast around those little tracks. And he's got a very accomplished store up in New York and Sprint Series, bringing it here to iRacing tonight.
Once again, Stephen Rochfort claiming the outside lane. He is not going to give that lane up without a fight. Guillaume Fortin going to be to his inside, and Guillaume's got to try something different. He has been trying to make the move to the inside. It has not worked. He's got to make a different move if he wants to take this win.
Well, he'll have 24 laps to figure it out when we go back green because the cars are side by side out of 4. Guillaume tried to bait the 66 into going, and a great start there that time, though, by Rochfort on the outside. Guillaume going to be able to hold to the bottom right at the quarter panel. There goes side by side into turn 1. Who will have the race lead out of turn 2? A great run that time by Guillaume.
Yeah, good run by Guillaume, but it just can't beat the run of that outside lane. Now Guillaume actually dipping tires down onto the apron, trying everything to just get that mid-corner speed to be able to get around the 66. None of it working, though, as he is still going to have to be relegated back to the rear bumper of that 66 car. Is right behind them. Big battle for position. The 23 of Blade Timmons. Now he's on the outside of the 95 of Chris Stump. He's going to be able to make the move coming off of turn number 4, and at the line, he will be scored in 4th place.
So a big power move there by the number 23 of Blade Timmons, showing Chris Stump, 2 drivers that have the real-world side experience of racing, who had the more, well, the bigger right foot, if you will. Just behind them, Logan Powers. How about him? He powers around Bill Martin. He'll slide up in front of him, and he's bringing Mike Alexander. At one point, Mike Alexander was barely hanging on to the top 15. Now he's battling back. He's inside the top 10. He's running 8.
Yeah, speaking of the top 15, that is where Logan Powers started all the way back in 15th, and now he has made his way up into 6th. A great showing for his very first race here at the Upstate Racing League, but take a look now at the top 4. You could throw a blanket over those 4 cars. They are running completely nose to tail, but none of these guys are able to find a way around the other. It looks like the 23 trying to make a move on the outside of the 2 maybe, but 13 of Guillaume Fortin still looking for a way to get around Stephen Rochford.
Hacker and Timmons have experience of running door-to-door in all sorts of short-track cars here on iRacing. Now they find themselves battling inside the top 5, a side-by-side again for the race lead. A little contact that time out of turn number 4. More contact at the start-finish line. More contact down into 1 for the race lead. Rochford to the outside, and the caution lights are coming on again, just as it was getting good for the race lead.
Oh, I feel for Guillaume there, as that is probably the best chance he has had here tonight for the race lead, as he was completely even with him, and he has not been able to get his car that far forward. But taking a look now at what happened, that was a huge wreck on the front straightaway. There was a number of cars, I think even airborne.
Yeah, one of them was on the roof. A couple of them having to take the tow back to pit road. Smith in the 96 and the W6 of Michael Peak. And, oh, heavy contact, Brian Bianchi. And that is going to be Michael Peak in the W6 that winds up on his lid. Al Smith then having to also, it looks like something was broke on the Stand RC Speedway, number 96 for Al Smith. He had to take the tow back to pit road, and hard contact. Let's ride on board here with Brian Bianchi. There you see the Bar Mackey sponsor on the front of the number 1. Let's see how it looks after this. On the hooks, trying to slow it up. Nowhere to go for Brian Bianchi. Hard into the side there, the number W6 of Michael Peak.
A number of cars involved in that one. A number of cars getting some heavy, heavy damage, and that will take them essentially out of the race. Both Peak, Smith. Looks like Scott Austin is still down there as well, but no, Austin is going to get his car moving, so he's going to get back out in front of the pace car, so he will stay on the lead lap. Looks like Bushy is also going to go down a lap. Rodney Huntoon can't quite beat the pace car, it looks like. Oh, maybe they'll allow him to get back around, but he came out pretty much even with the pace car.
Well, the good thing is, if you come out and the pace car's there and you pass the pace car, just an end of the longest line penalty. So right now he's figuring, I'm going to start back here anyway. You might as well just take the penalty. You're going to be in the same position.
Yeah, not a bad call, especially if he did come down and get tires. I didn't see take a look to see if that right side went up. So he may have a bit fresher tires underneath him that may be able to get him a few more spots before this race is done. But once we go back green, there'll be almost 13 laps to go.
So not a lot of time for these drivers to make these passes left here tonight in the opening race, brought to us by Dr. Noise Paints here tonight for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series for the Upstate Racing League here tonight, season number 13. I'd say I've been here for all of them, Kelly, but I haven't. You've been here. You've seen some great racers come through the series, and, well, they're still here.
Yeah, a lot of names that are here now are names that I saw when I first joined these broadcasts back in 2016, 2017, something around there. So this league has kept a pretty tight community over the years, and a number of great drivers, and every year just brings out some amazing competition. And if the season is going to shape up like this first race, we are going to be in for a very exciting season, as we've seen a lot of battles throughout the field, and a strong battle for the race lead, as Guillaume has kept pressure on Rochford, as Guillaume trying to defend his championship from last year.
double them up and let's stack them up here, and we'll go back racing. 12 laps remaining when we come out of turn 4 and see the green flag. It'll be Stephen Rochford to the outside, Guillaume Fortin to the inside. Then it'll be, well, Brian Hacker, Blade Timmons on row number 2. Green flag back up, and here we go. Drag race into turn 1. A great start by the outside. That time, not a great start by Guillaume.
Yeah, really good start from Logan Powers as he was pushing Blade Timmons down the front straightaway, trying to just get him into position. As Timmons now is going to be to the outside of Brian Hacker. He's trying to go for the top 3. Hacker trying to hold on to it on the bottom side, but we have just seen that outside line is a little bit stronger. It is able to just carry the speed just a bit better, but those two cars are going to be completely even up through 1 and 2.
Working down the back straightaway, still Rochford, Fortin out front. Then it's Timmons and Hacker side by side with Logan Powers right there, rounding out the top 5. As they come by, it'll be the double high fives at the flag stand. 10 more times around here in the season opener here tonight at the Kern County Raceway, and it is not over, because look at these drivers. They are turning some of the fastest times we've seen all night.
Oh, the 23 goes sideways. Caution's going to come out as the 23 of Blade Timmons gets sent spinning in turns 3 and 4. And that is going to bunch up the field once again. And really unfortunate for that 23 car as he was running a great race. But I don't think he even made contact, unfortunately. I think that was just a bad case of netcode as the 2 and the 23 were running extremely hard.
Well, we'll watch it back as they're side-by-side down the back straightaway. Hacker getting just slightly there. You don't even see the car wiggle. It just shoots sideways. Powers got a little contact. Gary Eschen a little contact. And a whole bunch of drivers coming into the background there, sliding in. Gable sideways. Bianchi. There's the 15. I believe that's Bushy. Whole bunch of drivers sliding back there into this wreck as Timmons went around. You see the left front damage to the number 23 now for Blade Timmons. So a handful of drivers getting scrapes and, well, bumps there down in turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, that was just very unfortunate for the 23. He was having a great run through the last few laps of this race as he had been able to challenge back into the top 5 and even get himself into the top 3 there. And it looked like he may have been able to get around the 2 of Hacker. And I don't think Hacker made a mistake there. I don't think he got into him. I think that was netcode, but that's just a symptom of, trying to run so close to drivers here on an online service.
And when we talk about the netcode, race fans, that's because each one of these drivers has their own computer, their own sim rig, if you will. They're all at their own, race shop, their house, wherever they have their computer and their rig set up is where they are. So right now, Kelly's in Canada. I'm in Pennsylvania here in the United States. We are not close, but we're all logged into the same service, the same server. So the latency between my computer to Kelly's computer is what kind of caused that right there. Not saying it was mine or Kelly's or anybody's individual, but just that latency logging back to the Boston, Massachusetts server is what caused that issue down there between those two drivers. And unfortunately, Blade Timmons being the driver that came out on the short end of that stick.
Well, they are not going to have very many laps left in this race once we go back green. I think there may be only 4 laps or so left in this race, so we'll have to keep a very close eye on these drivers. They may try to make a last-minute move for the race lead, and we'll have to see if the 66 of Rochefort can continue holding off this intense pressure from the 13 of Guillaume Fortin.
We'll see, but right now, is it going to be a rookie that could take the, first race of the season? We're going to find out because Logan Powers has showed he has a lot of speed. This will be the first time he will get the opportunity to restart in the second row here tonight. It'll be 4 to go for Powers. We'll see if he has any more tires left because 12 spots gains tells me that you were on the loud pedal hard here tonight, or the power, if you will.
Well, he could have also just really saved his tires compared to everyone else. We'll have to see what that 31 machine can do. Here goes Rochefort once again getting a good launch off of turn 4, but Guillaume is able to time that quite well. He has pretty much been able to nail down when that 66 launches off the corner. They make contact in turn 2. Guillaume able to hang on to the car, but that is going to kill his momentum down the back straightaway. That brings the 2 and the 31 back into this fight. Oh, the 88 gets sent around, and caution is going to fly once again as the 88 of Matt Eddy gets turned off of turn 4, and the rest of the field comes piling in.
I believe one driver just got sent down pit road. Ryan Holland went up over the nose there, the number 23 of Gary Eschen, and he ends up on pit road, unfortunately. So this is going to send us into overtime here, as we were able to complete a lap, but that was the 88 of Matt Eddy, who unfortunately lost control of that machine. And let's take it back here tonight. We're going to overtime, but let's take a look at this replay. There you see the 88. He was running into the 8th position at the time. Oh, Gary Eschen just into the back of him. And then a couple drivers ping-ponging around. Dobbs just missing it in the number 98 there. A lot of drivers slowing up and just making slight contact there. You see as Eddie's trying to roll away and figure out where he is. He made a little contact there with the number 47 of Rodney Hontoon.
Well, we are going to only make one attempt at a green-white checkered here, so one chance for these drivers to make any move to go to improve their positions. One more shot for the 13 to maybe get around the 66, and Guillaume has been able to get a good jump the last few times that we just have not had very much green flag running these for this last quarter of the race, so he's not really been able to get into a groove and maybe attack the 66 as well as he's wanted to.
Yeah, so now, Kelly, since you said we're going into overtime, we only have one attempt at an overtime try here tonight at Kern County for the season opener here tonight. Do you say the gloves come off and anything goes here at this point?
I mean, on that last restart, Guillaume did look a lot more aggressive than he has been throughout the night. Those two drivers were banging doors through 1 and 2, and that almost cost Guillaume as he was very sideways off for turn number 4, but was able to hang on to it. So I think we're going to see more of that, and not just from these front two drivers. I think we'll see it throughout the whole field as everyone tries to just go for any spot they can gain.
So the green-white checker. We come around, we're going to take the green. We're going to run one lap, we'll take the white, and then in the next one will be a checker. So call it a 3-lap shootout, if you will, here tonight to finish this one off. And it will be Rochford, Fortin, Powers, Hacker, Alexander, as they are single file coming back here into the restart zone. When does the 66 fire? And right now he says, let's go, chase me. Green flag up, green-white checker, attempt 1.
Yeah, not a good jump from the 31 as the 2 of Brian Hacker was able to get a bit better of a run there. However, 31 was able to get in front of him through turns 1 and 2. Now the 2 of Hacker goes to the inside. He's going to take a look, and the caution is going to come out for the final time, and that is going to end the race.
The white flag is flying. Stephen Rochford just has to come back around here. Ryan Holland is the driver of car number 15 that went around, and he's not happy with the 23 of Gary Eschen. But that will end it here tonight. You're finishing top 3 as long as they come back around here, because we've seen some crazy things. How about, remember, Mark Martin leading and coming down pit road, giving up the win? Well, Stephen Rochford getting a congratulations bump by Guillaume Fortin, and it looks like as they come out of turn 4, they will all coast back across the line at least. So it'll be Rochford across the line. He'll pick up the season opener here tonight. The Dr. Noise paints 113 going to Stephen Rochford. Guillaume Fortin come across the line in second with Logan Powers, the highest running rookie. He will finish into P number 3. Brian Hacker, Mike Alexander will round out the top 5 here tonight after a wild one to open it up on the West Coast, but it goes to Stephen Rochford.
Yeah, great race here to start the season off, and hopefully the rest of them will be this exciting, but hopefully we can go with a few less cautions throughout these next races, is let these drivers kind of battle it out on the track a little bit more. And I think that's probably what I would have liked to see a little bit on the last quarter of this race, because Guillaume Fortin just never really had a chance to go after Rochford at the end of this race. But it was really good for Rochford, because he was able to hang on to that pressure and was able to ignore the 13 that was just all over him throughout this race.
So Stephen Rochford going to celebrate here tonight in California. He'll burn it down on the front straightaway. And as he does that, we're going to take the quick step away, and we'll be back here with the top 3 finishers after a wild one here for the season opener for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series for the Upstate Racing League. We'll be right back here to Kern County.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to Kern County Race fans. Overtime needed here tonight in the season opener for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series presented by the Upstate Racing League. The Doctor's Noise Paints 113. Well, we gave you the overtime. We ran a little past the 113 marker because it was just that exciting here tonight for the season opener. What do you say we head down trackside, though, and talk to the driver who is in victory lane? The driver making his sophomore campaign with the series, and, well, a great one for him. Stephen Roachford, ladies and gentlemen, your winner here tonight. Stephen, a race where you didn't qualify on the pole, but you were able to pick up that one spot, but you had to battle hard late down the stretch. A lot of caution flags, a lot of restarts, and that 13 knocking on the door.
Yeah, it was tough. I knew I had to take the lead early. I figured that it was going to be a pretty top-dominant race, and as long as you didn't let anyone to your outside, you were going to be pretty decent. Just tried to stay out front and save what I could, kind of dictate the speed of the race and the pace, just managing, letting the 13 down low and try to get him to burn his stuff up a little bit, but he came on strong, that's for sure.
Late in this race, we had a couple caution flags. We went back racing with just 5 laps to go. What were you thinking when we went back racing with 5 laps to go and you saw the 13 continuing to peek the nose to the inside?
I thought that there might have been a chance where he might get it in there and kind of run me up a little bit, and I wouldn't have blamed him. But luckily he didn't, and no one in here really seems to race like that. So, yeah, I just knew that I just couldn't let him to my outside, and I was just gonna take whatever finish it gave me there. I'm trying to win the war here.
Trying to win the war because last season, the 13, Guillaume Fortin, took the war to you guys. He was able to pick up the championship. You finished 4th last year in your rookie campaign, and here tonight, your sophomore season, you come off with a banger here. You will take the points lead leaving Kern County. How does it feel to know as your sophomore season, you now lead the points?
It feels pretty good. I'm glad that we switched over to the late model stocks. They definitely fit my driving a little bit better. So I'm hoping to be a little bit more, even more competitive than I was last year, and take it to them.
Well, congratulations here tonight, Stephen, as you pick up the first win of the season here tonight in the Dr. Noise Paints 113. So what do you say we roll the red carpet out for the first time this season? It's freshly done, so don't mess it up here. We'll roll this bad boy out, hand you the microphone. Who do you got to thank back home with car number 66 tonight for this win?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Dr. Noise for putting it on, the Upstate Racing League, and Beth's Colorful Creations for sponsoring the league as well. Personally, I'd like to thank the Vermont Race Team and Scotty's Scrapyard for being on the hood tonight.
Well, there you have it. They had to scrap here tonight. Stephen Roachford, though, picking up the win in the season opener for season number 13 here tonight at the Kern County Raceway. He picks up P number 1, and I believe, Kelly Dahl, you're standing with last season's champion who just missed the win here tonight.
Yeah, caught up here with Guillaume Fortin. And Guillaume, early on, you started in 5th and were quickly able to make your way up to 2nd, but you kind of seem to have stalled out behind the 66 of Stephen Roachford. I mean, how hard was it to pass here at this track tonight?
Oh, it was pretty hard, and with the number of caution that we had, the tire had time to cool off in between cautions, so yeah, it was hard. The top was really good, and I tried everything without like pushing him up the track, and I tried to be clean with those boys because that's the way they race me, so that's the way I'll race them. But it's always fun. It's a fun battle up front.
I saw you go to the inside a lot, but that had to have really put some pressure on the right front. How are your tires feeling by the end of that race?
Still pretty good. I think I did a good job managing the tire. I was still pretty loose at the end, so that's why I went to the outside. And Steven did a great job getting his car in the right place for me, not for me to not going to the outside. And he did a great job, and good win for him.
Well, next week we are going to be moving on to Nashville Fairgrounds, and how are you expecting to run there next week?
Usually I'm pretty good there. I know it's going to be a huge tire race if we get a green flag run, because it's our own tire with the bump and everything. So hopefully we can get a green flag run and I can show my skill at saving tires.
Well, should we expect another championship challenge here from you this year, Guillaume?
I hope so. I love this car, and I think I'm better in it than the Super 8, so hopefully I'll be able to show it.
Well, Guillaume, you've talked with us a number of times here over the years, and I'm sure you know how this goes by now. Before we let you go, who would you like to thank for your run here tonight?
Yeah, first of all, I have to thank my sponsor, Gestion LPG. They're doing workstation and pit boxes for racing, so hit them up if you need anything. And also Al for putting up this league. It's always fun to race with those guys and you guys at Turn 3 for making this great broadcast.
All right, well, thanks for coming by and talking to us, Guillaume. Hopefully we'll hear from you next week, and congratulations once again on starting the season strong with a second-place finish.
Thank you.
That was our second-place finisher, as I mentioned. That is Guillaume Fortin, and expect to see him a few more times this season. But before we move on, we'd like to move on now to a first-time runner here in the Upstate Racing League, and that is Logan Powers, who is caught up now with Roger.
Yeah, he's one of the drivers that is a Rookie of the Year candidate brought to us by the Stand RC Speedway. And, well, he had the speed here tonight. Logan, you were able to pick up 12 spots. Had to come from, well, the mid-pack here tonight in a caution-filled race at Curtin County. How did you keep the 31 pointed into the right direction to wind up here on the podium tonight?
Well, it was tough to say the least. I think I started like 15th, just right in the middle of the pack, kind of where you don't want to be. And I was a little bit worried with all the cautions. I thought about pitting and maybe, pulling a different strategy and trying to come from the back there and hope that everybody cycled through. But got to the middle of the race there, and it just kind of stalled out. A lot of cautions, and nobody else was really taking up front. So played the outside the best I could. I was actually able to make a couple moves on the bottom, which was a little bit surprising. But I think, those 10-lap runs there, I think I could kind of get by a couple guys maybe who would burn their stuff up a little bit worse, but no, definitely can't complain. Third place and 2 VRT cars on the podium.
Yeah, you talk about the 2 cars here on the podium, but look at the names that he had to come by. He had to come by champions like Mike Alexander, Bill Martin, and others through the field. How hard is it to come in, start mid-pack, and pass those drivers?
Well, I've watched this league for a couple of years now, and they're no slouches, that's for sure. A lot of good, really hard-nosed racers, but it was just I don't know. I want to say luck. I know it wasn't all luck, but some of it was the lanes, and like I said, I think maybe I just possibly saved my tires just that little bit to get by those guys, and then it obviously didn't hurt when I had to restart on the outside there. Felt like that was the best place to be. To get a good launch and get by a couple guys at a time.
Well, you got by him here tonight at Kern. What do you think, though? 3 races coming up. We're going to Nashville, Stafford, and Oxford. Where do you think you might be able to wind up back here on the podium or just a couple spots better to victory lane?
Oh boy, I don't know. Nashville's not my favorite. It's a tough track to save tire at. Stafford's the same way, just no banking, super tough to pass. My favorite is definitely Oxford. I think they've done a really good job with these cars there. It's really enabled you to kind of run 2 lanes there. I think that's a blast of a track, but you never know. I mean, maybe next week we'll be back up here. That's the hope, but definitely a strong run tonight, so I'm happy with that.
Well, before we let you go here, Logan, as you are the highest running, the Stand RC Speedway Rookie of the Year candidate, who do you got to thank here tonight for bringing this number 31 here tonight onto the podium?
Well, I got to thank Al and all the guys here who put on this league. It really is an awesome league. I know sometimes when they start out it can be a little bit rough, but I'm sure it'll come around. Beth's Colorful Creations for the sponsor in the series. You guys, of course, for putting on the series. And again, the Vermont Race Team, Deli's Dogs, and Scotty's Scrapyard. And then just a couple others, Tildark Roofing and Vermont Auto Spa.
There you heard it. He'll go to the spot after tonight. Logan Powers picking up P number 3 and a 12-spot position gain for him here tonight at Kern County. So Stephen Rochford picks up the win here tonight. They opened up the season with Guillaume Fortin battling there for second, and you heard from Logan Powers also finishing P number 3. Rounding out the top 5 was Brian Hacker, Mike Alexander. The rest of the top 10 was Chris Stump, Bill Martin, Philip Martin, Justin McDuff, and Gavin Isley. So Isley, one of those dirt guys here tonight, finishing inside the top 10 for his first career start on the asphalt side of things. But Kelly, it may not have just been the dirt that was flying here tonight. These parts off these machines also flying around the speedway.
Yeah, a few sparks flying as well between some of these drivers, and as we mentioned, there's going to be a few words said, and hopefully things will be able to be cleaned up for the rest of the season. But it was definitely exciting to start this off, and we had a lot of good racing throughout the night, so hopefully we will see more of that in Nashville next week.
Well, they always say Nashville's an exciting place, and it will be exciting because 100 laps of the Pro Series will be back at Nashville. It will be the Fat Wade McDuff Memorial for 100 laps at Nashville just 1 week from now. So for everybody at Best Colorful Creations, everybody here with the Turn 3 Racing Network, and everybody at the Upstate Racing League, that's Kelly Dahl. I'm Roger Muth, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's virtual show here from Kern County to kick things off for the Upstate Racing League. And until we see you for round number 2 in Nashville, race fans, everybody stay safe. And we'll see you in Turn 3.